What it do, YouTube? Beautiful souls of YouTube. We back at it again with another video. It's your boy Yakwe. We all rising. We all high vibrations right now. We all feeling good. We in God frequency. So this video is about how being in a low vibratory / low frequency state has affected my life. For the good and bad, but mostly I'm just gonna talk about how it affected my life in the negative, because I want to change it. And in 2018 into 2019, like I said in my last video, was a time of Great Depression. Yeah, that was not intended, but that depression was a low frequency, low vibratory state. That's all that is. And during this state, I was not exactly vibing correct, like to match other people's vibes and shit. So when people say, I don't feel your vibe, they don't feel your energy. I mean, nobody ever told me I'm not feeling your vibe, but I always felt like the odd one out, and I felt alienated a lot of the times because I was never in the right mindset, I guess. And people are not aware, but their subconscious mind can like detect someone's vibration or their state of mind. So during this time, a lot of people I knew weren't really like, they didn't want to be around me, but they didn't know that. I wouldn't say all that. They didn't want to be around the energy I was bringing, because my energy was not in a good place at the time. So a lot of my friends would become distant, and I myself became distant from everything and everyone, even my own family. I couldn't really talk to them. I couldn't hold conversations with anybody because I was just in my own head. I was always thinking about the negative, and I would try to be positive, but I was so deep down in that low vibratory state that I just couldn't find a way out immediately. I had to work my way out. And I struggled to talk to family, struggled to talk to friends. The only person I really talked to, actually, I don't think I talked to anybody really. There was this one time where my mom, she came into my room one morning, I think it was in the morning, and I had just like woken up. And mind you, at the time I didn't live with my mom. She was just visiting the place I was staying in. So she came in my room, and I forgot what made this happen, but I just started breaking down, crying in front of her. During this low vibratory state, I broke down a good amount of time. I still remember the first time I was like really breaking down. I was in my room. It was like 3 a.m. And I was just losing it, bro. But this particular time, my mom, she was talking to me. She was like, "Are you feeling alone? Are you feeling like there's nobody there for you?" At the time, I was like, "Yeah." And then she was just trying to comfort me, which it did help some to let that out in front of her, I guess. But it didn't help all the way, of course, because I still had to do inner work. I had to surpass my demons, you feel me? But and after that, I felt really awkward, but it's okay because it's my mom. And I was about to say something else, I forgot. But oh yeah. Because of this low vibratory state, right, I had many breakdowns. I broke down in my room by myself at like 3 a.m. I broke down at parties. I broke down at a few parties. Was breaking, like really breaking down, like crying, like just like fuck this, fuck all this. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want none of this. But these times that I broke down, there was always somebody who was there to talk to me, which was cool. Now that I think about it, it's pretty cool. Because the 3 or 4 times I can think about, there was like an individual in each instance that saw me and spoke to me, and they helped me in the time. And let me just say this: being drunk and breaking down is not fun. That's like, cause it's gonna cause you to overthink. So does weed, but I got past the weed thing, like overthinking on weed. I smoke a lot of weed, and I just got my shit together. It didn't happen quick though. It happened over time, obviously. This is like 3.5 years later, and I'm finally like feeling really good. Finally letting go of a lot of shit that's holding me back. In this low vibratory state, I did not want to be here anymore on this earth. But I couldn't bring myself to do the action. To, And then every time I thought about that, just like thinking about doing that, like my thoughts would run to like my sisters, my dad, all my family members, my mom, and I would think about how they would feel if I had left the planet, left the earth. And that's basically what kept me around. And also I was honestly scared of what would happen. But now I'm not scared to die at all. Oh my gosh. This bird almost just got hit by a car. But anyway, I'm not scared to die now, but it's not in a sad way when I say that. I feel like death should be celebrated because we live in a world where it just brings sadness and the worst feelings, and it shouldn't be like that. But that's not what this video is about. So during this low vibratory state, did a lot of soul searching, obviously, right? Searching for answers, like I said in the last video, and it just gradually started to get better, like slowly. The more I became aware of what I was doing as a human being, so I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because sometimes my mind be flowing, sometimes I start thinking about something else and I'll lose my train of thought. But when I was in this state and I was in like social places, I had the meanest anxiety. I couldn't speak to people I didn't know. I would say hi, say what's up, and then just keep it moving because I didn't want to hold a conversation with anybody because I was so insecure of myself and how I just thought, like I was thinking too much. And if you think negative thoughts for long enough, your subconscious mind, it makes those thoughts real. So the thoughts I was having was creating my own reality, and it was not a fun. It was not a good reality. Good at all. And because I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing with my life. But I just knew that in the end, things were gonna work out. Like, I had faith. I didn't know exactly what I had faith in. I had faith in... I more so had faith in... When I say... I just had faith that everything would work out, you know? But I needed to have faith in myself. Like, I needed to believe in myself with everything I did. And I didn't have that at the time. And people see that, like... This state also caused me to not follow through on things, like, because I would lose motivation so quick. I would find inspiration, but I would lose inspiration within like the same hour or the same fucking day, and that's because of the low vibration. If you're constantly in a high state of mind, you won't ever lose your motivation because you'll know what the fuck you want. You'll know your purpose and shit. But I wasn't in the right state. So, and I always worried. And worrying itself can just fuck you over. Because it just puts unnecessary anxiety on you. That is just a figment of your imagination. But this world that we live in is meant to keep you in a low vibratory state. Now, the state I was in was lower than the low vibration state. Like, real low. I don't know how many times I said that, but it's facts. The ideas I would have would come and go, but most of the time they just went. I couldn't hold on to my motivation. I would start things and I wouldn't finish them. I wouldn't follow through. And even recently, I still struggle with that, because sometimes, like up until now, like real recently, like real recently, like I would think about. I became so aware of what the fuck is happening on this earth that I had so much hate for this place. And what was happening, like, to people, and all the lies that was happening, and that is also not a frequency you should live in either. Is hate, because that can cause just anger, frustration, and that just snowballs into more negative thoughts. That's what was happening to me up until, I don't know, like the past, I don't know. It's been months, but. Excuse me. Fuck. I have the ability, I have the skills to pursue these things that I wanted, but I didn't have the right mindset, right? I didn't have the mental fortitude. I didn't have the right awareness. And this video is getting too long. But I think I've talked about a lot of stuff that's was bothering me back then, and how it affected me negatively. Maybe the next video I'll talk about how it affected me positively.